What if I told you the glittering court of the Sun King, Louis XIV of France, was rotten to the core? That behind the opulent bowls and dazzling jewels, there was a dark underbelly of poison, black magic, and murder for hire. And what if I told you that at the very center of it all was the king's own mistress, the beautiful and ambitious Madame de Montespan? This is the story of how the most powerful woman in France became entangled in the infamous affair of the poisons, a scandal that threatened to bring down the entire French monarchy. Let's rewind to the 1660s. The court at Versailles is the epicenter of European culture, fashion, and power. And at its heart is King Louis XIV, the self-proclaimed Sun King. To be in his favor meant everything. One woman who understood this better than anyone was Françoise Athénée de Richelieu de Mortemart, later known as Madame de Montespan. She was witty, intelligent, breathtakingly beautiful, and she had her sights set on the ultimate prize, the king's heart. In 1667, she succeeded. She became the king's official mistress, or maîtresse en titre. This wasn't just about romance. It was a position of immense power. She lived in lavish apartments next to the king's. Her children with him were legitimized, and she held incredible influence over art, politics, and court appointments. For over a decade, she was the uncrowned queen of France. Her reign was known as the Golden Years of Versailles. But in a court built on shifting allegiances and jealousy, power is never permanent. As the years went on, Madame de Montespan started to feel her influence waning. She was getting older. She had borne the king's 7 children, and his eyes began to wander to younger, newer faces. A particular threat emerged in the form of the pious and gentle governess of their own children, Madame de Maintenon. Desperate to hold on to the king's love and her powerful position, Montespan grew frantic. And when you're desperate at the court of Versailles, you don't just accept your fate. You seek out alternative solutions. This is where our story takes a dark turn, leading us into the grimy back alleys of Paris, a world away from the gilded halls of Versailles. Here, a network of fortune-tellers, alchemists, and so-called sorcerers catered to the secret desires of the aristocracy. Need a love potion to win someone over, a curse to ruin a rival, or perhaps something more permanent, a subtle poison to eliminate an obstacle. For the right price, anything was possible. The most infamous figure in this underworld was a woman known as La Voisin, Catherine Monvoisin. Her real name was a charismatic and cunning midwife who built a thriving business selling everything, from beauty treatments to deadly poisons. Her client list was a who's who of the Parisian elite. Nobles, courtiers, and even members of the clergy flocked to her, desperate for a magical fix to their worldly problems. La Voisin didn't just sell potions. She hosted dark rituals, known as black masses, in the cellars of her home, allegedly involving unspeakable acts to conjure demonic powers. So, what does this have to do with Madame de Montespan? According to chilling testimony that would later emerge, Montespan was one of La Voisin's most important clients. It was said that she first went to La Voisin years earlier, seeking love potions to secure the king's affection in the first place. These weren't just harmless herbal remedies. The potions often contained questionable and dangerous ingredients, like dried mole's blood, Spanish fly, and even human remains. Montespan would allegedly secretly sprinkle these powders into the king's food, and drink to keep his passion for her alive. As her fear of being replaced by rivals like Madame de Maintenon grew, her requests allegedly became more sinister. Whispers and accusations claimed she participated in La Voisin's black masses. Testimonies painted a horrifying picture of Montespan seeking supernatural aid to maintain her power, even wishing ill upon her rivals. The accusations grew darker still, suggesting she didn't just want love potions anymore. She wanted her rivals gone, permanently. The entire sordid network came crashing down in 1679. The Paris police, investigating a series of suspicious deaths among the aristocracy, established a special court, the Chambre Ardente, or the Burning Court, to investigate the widespread rumors of poisoning. As they arrested and interrogated La Voisin's associates, a terrifying web of conspiracy began to unravel. Under torture, people started naming names, and the names they mentioned reached the highest echelons of society. Dozens of aristocrats were implicated. When La Voisin herself was arrested, the scandal exploded. During her interrogation, she hinted at a client so powerful, so close to the king, that the investigators were shocked. Before she could reveal everything, she was convicted of witchcraft and poisoning and publicly burned at the stake in 1680. But her death didn't end the investigation. Her daughter, Marguerite Montvoisin, continued to talk, and the name she finally spoke aloud was the one everyone feared: Madame de Montespan. The testimony was shocking. Marguerite claimed that Montespan had not only bought love potions and participated in black masses, but had also conspired to poison the king himself, as well as her rival, Madame de Maintenon. The goal, supposedly, was to either control the king or, if he abandoned her, to kill him. It was treason of the highest order. The king was faced with an unimaginable crisis. The mother of his children, the woman he had loved for over a decade, was being accused of trying to murder him. So, what did Louis do? He couldn't put his former mistress on public trial. The scandal would be too immense. It would expose the moral decay at the heart of his court and legitimize the children he had with a woman accused of being a killer and a sorceress. It would shatter the image of the divine, all-powerful Sun King. So, he did what powerful men do. He covered it up. Louis ordered the investigation to be shut down. He had the official records sealed and many of the most damning documents burned. The key witnesses who had implicated Montespan were imprisoned for life in secret fortresses, their tongues silenced forever. The affair of the poisons officially ended, but not before 36 people were executed and many more were imprisoned or exiled. And what of Madame de Montespan? She was never formally charged. She was protected by the king, but her fall from grace was swift and absolute. Although she remained at court for a few more years, she was a ghost, stripped of her power and influence. The king's affection was gone, replaced by suspicion and revulsion. He had moved on completely to Madame de Maintenon, whom he would later secretly marry. In 1691, Montespan was finally banished from Versailles. She retired to a convent, spending the rest of her life in penitence, donating vast sums of money to charities and hospitals, perhaps trying to atone for her sins, real or imagined. She died in 1707, a forgotten relic of a glittering past. But the question remains: was she guilty? History is divided. The evidence against her came primarily from criminals under torture or from her rivals, people who had every reason to want to see her fall. No definitive proof, no signed letter or reliable eyewitness account has ever confirmed her direct involvement in any murder plot. Some historians argue she was a victim of a smear campaign, a convenient scapegoat for a scandal that threatened the king himself. Others believe that while she may not have been a murderer, her desperation likely led her to dabble in the dark arts of la voisin. In a superstitious age, seeking love potions from a fortune teller was not uncommon, even among the nobility. Perhaps she simply got caught up in something far more sinister than she ever intended. We will probably never know the full truth. The secrets were buried too deep, the records destroyed by a king desperate to protect his own legacy. What is certain is that the affair of the poisons ripped the mask off the age of splendor. It revealed the fear, ambition, and ruthless superstition that festered just beneath the polished surface of Versailles. And at the center of it all remains the enigmatic figure of Madame de Montespan, the uncrowned queen, who may have turned to black magic to keep her throne, and in doing so, lost everything. What do you think? Was she a cold-blooded killer or a victim of courtly intrigue? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this dive into the dark side of history, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories. See you next time.